Hello friends, we're here to pick a book one for book Jenga. We're playing Jenga this time. I have my little tower beside me. I'm gonna flip you over so you can see me picking from it. Honestly, it's the most nervous I've been playing a TBR game because one, I don't want the tower to fall over on my first pick, and two, I feel like I have lost all control and just given it to the game. So I'm crossing my fingers and toes that everything goes well. We'll see if I stick to this method of like flipping you over for every pick or if we do it differently. But let's just get into it. I feel like I'm stalling, but we need to pick a book. So here is the tower in all its glory. I don't really know what to pick. Obviously, we're not going to pick from the top. What is the strategy? I don't really know. We're just gonna... Well, maybe this one. I can go for this, which is, ooh, I don't know if you can see because you're kind of backlit. 2025 release. That doesn't give me a lot of choices, but I'm still kind of excited. So this is the stack of 2025 releases that I have not read yet. This is a very minimal stack, obviously, and when I planned TBR Jenga, that was back in 2024. I didn't know when I was going to film this, so I assumed probably that I was going to have more choices because all of these, whatever I pick will double up with my 40% vlog, so it is what it is. But I have 3 middle grade books and 2 romances. I do think I'm currently in the mood for audiobook listening because I'm still like in the paint by numbers vibes. So that would give me the option between these two. So Hunt on the Golden Scarab, I don't know how to pronounce that yet, by MJ Leonard, or the Ice Apprentices by Jacob North. These are my 2 options. I honestly think I'm just gonna go for the shorter one because I don't really know how many books I am reading for this video yet. So this is the one I'm going for. This is a middle grade mystery and it follows a young boy named Sim who with his mother like are experiencing weird things that leads us to understand that they are capable of opening doors within different times, so it's kind of like a time traveling mystery. It's the first in a middle grade series and this released I think in February, so it is a new release. And yeah, it's about 260 pages. It's gonna be a shorter one. The audio is on BookBeat, so I think I'm gonna go for this one and cross my fingers I enjoy it. I think my theory is I'm most gonna like Sam Sedgman and MJ Leonard together when they co-author books, because with Sam Sedgman I did like his book, which was the first book in this series. However, I liked the co-author story better, which is The Adventures on Trains. I'm assuming it's gonna be the same for MJ Leonard, but I guess we'll see it together. Hello friends, welcome in for the first update for book 1, which is Hunt for the Golden Scarab. I have read 40% of this and am very unsure as to if I want to finish this book, if I DNF it. The thing is, I'm not having the time of my life. It's an okay book, but it's definitely not outstanding in my opinion. The reason I'm pushing through is because this is like a 260 page book. Like at that point, I can just finish it. Like why would I not complete it? So I think I'm gonna power through, though I'm giving myself up to the 50% mark to decide whether or not I'm going to continue with this story. I think my main issue with this is definitely the pacing and the characters, also the plot. So I have a lot of issues, I guess. First thing, the plot doesn't make sense to me. I feel like there's a lot of plot conveniences and it just doesn't really work, because I do think that like our main characters are neglecting things or kind of ignoring things for the sake of the plot, and that is kind of weird to me. For example, Sim's mother being trained black belt in like Taekwondo and like all these other martial arts, and his mother moving around a lot and them not doing anything never kind of, you know, made him question his life until those creepy bad guys come in, and then it's just like things unravel in a really weird way. Sim, his mother, and her brother haven't seen each other in so long, and it's just like, okay, like let's not talk about this and just kind of move forward. Everything is kind of cryptic because it's a mystery, but it doesn't really make sense to me. So I'm not really aligning with the decisions the characters are taking. I also think that this book is oddly paced. We're 40% in. We're getting to Egypt. It's not really clear what we're gonna do in Egypt. It's not really clear how much our main character is or is not part of the, like, time traveling community. We don't think he is, but maybe he's gonna be, and it's just, all of it is kind of odd to me. I don't particularly feel for any of the characters. I'm not in love with any of the characters, nor the side characters. And the relationships feel kind of forced and odd, and we're doing things in a very rapid pace, but like in real life it doesn't feel like any of this would make sense. So the decisions the characters make don't really align with what makes sense, and I don't love the characters. I think that the writing itself, like, it's fine, but I'm having a lot of issues with this one, and I really am beginning to think that MJ Leonard and Sam Sedgman are authors that work best when they are together, because so far none of their individual books that I've read have blown me out of the water. I will say I do think I favor Sam Sedgman over MJ Leonard currently, because I had a little bit more fun with Clockwork Conspiracy. But we'll see as I go. I'll probably update you guys either once I finish this or if I decide to DNF it. Either way, you should be getting another update. I am hoping and praying that my thoughts and feelings change toward this, but I'm not sure. Like, this feels like a 2.75 3-star read. And I know a lot of people are gonna like this. Like, I know I'm probably not in the majority when it comes to this book, but I can't help feeling how I feel. I'm very bored when I'm listening to this, but I'm just kind of going through it for the sake that it's like a small middle grade book. And like, I just purchased this, so like, I should probably get to it now, you know, because if I put this down, I know for a fact I'm never gonna pick it back up. So yeah, that's my take on this so far. Very disappointed, but we persevere, we move forward. Hello, happy Tuesday. I'm sorry the lighting is a little bit more yellow. It's after work, but today is kind of cloudy and rainy, so we're gonna make do with the artificial lighting. I am hopping on here very quickly to tell you that I am finished with The Hunt for the Golden Scarab by MJ Leonard. I did end up finishing this. I did not DNF it. I don't have much more to say than what I have said previously. The ending was better than the first part, but when I say ending, I mean the last like hour of the audiobook. I haven't settled on a final rating, but it's most likely going to be a 2.5 or 2.75 out of 5 stars. I have decided not to go on and continue with the series. It is going to be a we're done right now for this one, and I will be unhauling this, so this will not be staying on my shelves. Unfortunately, I have the pretty Waterstones edition with, I don't know why my dog is going ham, with like a signature and stuff, but we're not keeping it. So we're gonna pick the second Jenga piece and move on with our day. So another book down, but this one is a scrap, an unhaul. Hello, I'm back for pick number 2. You're gonna hear my bunny chewing on his stick for his teeth. We're gonna power through that. I have been away from this project for a while, and since then I've accumulated quite a few books because it was my birthday, but I also read a lot of books in March that weren't on any TBRs or whatever, but I've read like 8 or 9 books so far this month, so we're like at a standstill, but I want to keep moving with the physical TBR. So we're gonna pick book number 2. My strategy this time around, hopefully my pick will allow me to pick an audiobook because that's really what I'm in the mood for, and something like middle grade fantasy would be a great pick because that's all I've been reading and I'm still in the mood for it, and I have a lot of new ones, so depending if I could read one of those new books, I would be quite excited. So let's dig in. I have knocked over the tower for some reason I left it on my desk thinking it was a great idea. It wasn't, but I have put up like the good prompt, the 2025 release, which you can't see because of the sun. It's back on top, so the things might have shifted a little bit, and I also haven't found a better way to hold and like show you the tower, so we're just gonna keep going this way. I feel like this one might be a good pick. Oh yes, it is Pet Pick, if you can see that. Let me, voila, it's perfect. My dog is just beside me, and also I know I'm very backlit with the sun, but there it is. So I picked 3 books. I went on BookBeat and Audible and all, and I made sure that I had access to the audiobooks. So they are all books I got for my birthday quite literally yesterday, that I'm obviously super excited to get into. The first one we have is Accidental Demons by Claire Edge. This is a book I heard about. I'll leave the person's YouTube channel down below. When I was looking for middle grade fantasy recommendations, obviously more people are coming out with them now that it's middle grade March, so it's the perfect time for me to be introduced to new books. So we have this one, which obviously is middle grade fantasy. Then we have one of my most anticipated releases, and that is Vanya and the Wild Hunt by Sangu Mondana, which this cover, stunning. It's also kind of a shorter middle grade, and like the main character has ADHD. It sounds fantastic, and it's also part, I think it's either my, I think it's on my Buzzword, but I don't know, I don't think it's on my 12 or 15 priority reads, but it is for Buzzword, so that would knock out multiple challenges. And then we also have The House at the Edge of Magic by Amy Sparks. Why did I call her Amy Sparkles? And this is the beautiful indigo edition. This is again a shorter middle grade fantasy. I think it might read a little bit younger, but I have seen this go around and I was very intrigued, and obviously these kinds of books are not expensive, so I did add it to the lot for the birthday stack. So we're gonna put treats on all 3 books and ask my dog to pick. I'm so excited. Plus she's so cute and you guys like her, so it's perfect. The books are set up with the tiny treats and the dog is wanting to come in, so let's do this. My dog ended up going with The House at the Edge of Magic. This follows a main character named Nine, who is a pickpocket, and she ends up picking up an ornament from someone's purse, and that ornament is enchanted and it brings about this house full of residence and whimsy, but there's a curse on the house, and then it's up to our main character Nine to solve the curse. I don't know where this is gonna go. I think there's multiple books in this series. I'm very intrigued. It sounds whimsical, so much fun. And how long is this? That's what I wanted to check. Just over 200 pages, so that is perfect. My dog did me so good because I want to try to include as many books as possible in this vlog, so I'll probably come back at the like 50% mark, or once I'm done. I don't really know with this short of a book how much I'll be able to update you guys. Hello friends, I'm here for some updates because I did indeed finish The House at the Edge of Magic by Amy Sparks. This was very much a one sitting read and I really enjoyed this. I will be continuing on with the series. So this is very much what the synopsis said it would be. So we follow a main character named Nine, who when she tries to like pickpocket people to kind of survive in the streets, and where she kind of resides with this mean old man, she ends up finding this kind of enchanted thing that ends up being this house, and the people in the house are cursed, and so Nine is kind of like forced but like not forced to help them solve and break the curse. And we go on this whimsical adventure with Nine and the characters we meet in the story to like work out the clues given by the witch who set up the curse to break the curse before the time runs out and everybody in their house starts shrinking until they do not exist anymore. It is a very fast-paced story. There isn't as much character development as I would have liked, because I do think the characters were really interesting, but we didn't get to see much of them because this is a very short book. It was very fast paced. It's a like little whimsical adventure, so it would not get 5 stars from me, but I liked it enough that I will be continuing on with this series. This would probably rate like a 3.75 for me because I really enjoyed some parts of it, but it was very fast. I feel like it properly markets itself in the fact that like you don't expect to have this great grand adventure with fleshed out characters and a really long plot when you see that this book is so short. It's for a younger middle grade audience, but I really was attached to the whimsy of this story and it just felt good. It was lighthearted and fun, and I really liked the outcome of this, and like when you figure out who set the curse and why. It was a grand old time. I highly recommend this if you're looking for like a palate cleanser, something that's like a little bit light and fluffy and fun. Yeah, I will definitely be continuing on with the series, and the audiobook was absolutely fantastic, so this is definitely staying on my shelves. Now, once I was done this, I did go ahead and pick my third and what will be my last book for this vlog because we are rapidly approaching the end of March. And I won't have time to read more than 3 books, but it's okay. 3 books is a good number for a vlog, but I will bring you back to past Megan, who picked another Jenga piece because I wanted to start reading another book, but the lighting would have been terrible to kind of update you guys, so we're doing that now. But let's flash back to past Megan. We are here to pick book 3. I am home from work. It's way too late to update you guys on book 2, so this is all going to be out of order. But let's pick book 3. This, I feel, is calling my name. So we're gonna go with this one. I'm kind of scared to see if this will focus. It is 375 pages or less. So as you guys saw, the last piece I picked was 375 pages or less, and for that I ended up going with The Last Dragon on Mars by Scott Rankton. I never know how to pronounce this author's last name. This is technically 373 pages if you take out the acknowledgements, which I don't count in this sort of prompt, so it fits the bill perfectly. And I started reading this. I am listening to this via audiobook, and you guys, I'm having the time of my life with this. This is gonna be a 5-star most likely. It's gonna be the hit of this video, and I am already obsessed. So The Last Dragon on Mars is the first in the Dragon Ship series. It is a middle grade book that reads a little bit in the like little gray space between middle grade and young adult. It is for like 10 years and older as per Simon & Schuster's ranking of this, and it is a sci-fi kind of fantasy middle grade that follows a main character named Lunar Jones, and Lunar lives on Mars. And in this world, basically what happened is that the people on Earth decided to go ahead and like have people live on Mars. However, Mars did not end up delivering on all the resources that they thought were there, and so now the population of Mars is kind of being left behind from the people on Earth and is not doing so well. The main character, Lunar, lives in this facility with a bunch of other children who were kind of left behind on Mars and who don't have parents, and he is kind of one of the oldest ones and is very much taking care of all the other children. So he is what we call a scavenger, and basically he goes out and scavenges for things to sell in order to be able to provide food and shelter and everything to these other children. And so he's kind of like the leader of this group. And at one time when he goes out to scavenge, he ends up in a very precarious situation and ends up meeting a dragon who nobody really knew is on Mars. And dragons in this story have a lot of like importance. They are kind of what travel people between Earth and Mars, and what would take like years to travel takes only hours with a dragon. They are very important in both politics and just survival of the human race and Martians. And so the story kind of unravels from there, and obviously there is a very important relationship between our main character and the dragon. There are some like training vibes in here. He stumbles upon this kind of like military academy, and it is impeccable. I love, also I'm sorry the sun is like all over my face today, but I love the portrayal of the dragon in this and just the world building, and it feels kind of ominous, and you can feel that people are like so vulnerable and left kind of to die on this planet, and nobody kind of cares. And our main character is really interesting to read about because he feels older than a middle grade character, but not in a way that's like unintentional and bad. It's more that he has had to carry people all his life and take care of others, and so he's matured and grown up a lot quicker than he should have. And so it really, you can really feel that in his inner monologue and in his choices and in the way he thinks. And I love that we're kind of rooting for an underdog who's kind of scrappy and had to work so hard to make ends meet. And it's just such a fantastic audio, and the way that the dragon and our main character communicate is kind of through our main character's head, and the way that the audiobook does the voice of the dragon and how you know when the dragon is the one like thinking. It's all so intricately woven, and it is fantastic. It's so immersive. I am having the time of my life with this. I knew this would be, like, this was very much a 5-star prediction, and this feels like a 100-star book. Like, probably one of my favorite books I've read so far this year, and I've read some pretty great ones, but this just makes me feel like I can enjoy sci-fi, because sci-fi is something I've always kind of steered clear of because I'm like, am I gonna like it? Is it too complex? Is it too kind of out there for me? Turns out I'm having the time of my life. Granted, this is middle grade, but it doesn't matter. I'm just enjoying the genre for what it is right now. So I am currently on chapter 21, or page 186. I am almost halfway, I think, through this, so I am giving you guys this update at the halfway point, and will most likely come back to you. I have like 2 hours and 9 minutes, I think, of the audiobook left, so once I am done with this, I will come and wrap it up. But if this landing hits, it's going to be such a go-to recommendation, and it's probably going to get its own recommendation video, because how could you not recommend this? Like, this is phenomenal. I am blown away by this, and I never want to stop listening. It's so good. The pacing is perfect. The world building is phenomenal. Her main character makes so much sense. I like the side characters. Like, nothing about this right now is not giving 10 out of 10 vibe. So what a way to end this video. I just hope it doesn't disappoint in the last 50%. Hello friends, we're gonna ignore the fact that the lighting is yellow and that I look pale as a ghost. I am in the middle of another health episode, so we're just gonna power through. This is gonna be a short update to say that I finished The Last Dragon on Mars, and it has become an all-time favorite book of mine. It is a book that would definitely be in my top 10 middle grade books of all time. I think it would definitely rank maybe books 7 or 8, so we're talking quality middle grade, and it's definitely going to become an auto-suggested, like one of the easiest things to recommend if you are a middle grade reader who is looking to get into sci-fi, or if you enjoy the sci-fi like subgenre. I definitely think this will hit. I am so excited. The sequel for this comes out in October of this year. It also has beautiful stenciled edges, and I like immediately followed the author on Instagram. I'm just so incredibly excited for the remainder of this. The ending was just as good as the beginning. It is fantastic. The pacing is perfect, and the character development and the character building and the friendships are beautiful. The journey the character goes on feels very true to himself. And I know every book has its flaws, but I see no flaws with this. Like, it's definitely such a typical Meg book, and I'm so happy I found one to recommend in the sci-fi genre rather than just fantasy, because holy moly, this is amazing. If you pick out any book for this video or on my channel since I started Bookshelf Blitz, I think this is definitely one of the highlights, and a definite potential contender for like my top 5 books of the year. I'm so happy I read this, and I'm happy it got all the special treatment, and I hope some of you guys pick it up. If you do pick it up or have read it, let me know. I'd love to chat about it. So yeah, for this vlog, again, we went with the middle grade. It's what I own most on my shelf, so it's obviously what I read most, but in order of recommendation for this round, I would definitely go with this recommended first. I would also recommend The House at the Edge of Magic if you're looking for a cozy, fun time, something that's very quick, kind of a palette cleanser. It was great. However, I would not recommend this one. I've talked about why I didn't enjoy it. My thoughts have stayed the same. Not something I will recommend and not something I will keep. At the beginning of the next round of Bookshelf Blitz, I will have a tally of how many books I own on my physical TBR and how many books I have read so far this year, because it's the end of a quarter. My dog just saw a stranger. I'm sorry for the barking. If you've made it so far, leave me a dragon emoji, and I am hoping to come back with episode 4 very soon for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Bye guys, happy reading.